Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Steelrising. A little early, this comes out on the 7th for 50 bucks, but I got access to chapter 1 and 2 a little ahead of time, so we're just gonna dive in. Assist mode, interesting. Let's see, tailoring, I'm gonna see what it does. Damage reduction, keep anima essence after death. Oh! So, this is gonna be kind of Soulslike. Endurance, regeneration speed, and easy cooling. All rapid cooldowns become perfect cooldowns. Interesting. Let's see. So difficulty related achievements are going to be turned off, but this is kind of huge. I'm almost tempted to leave this. I'm going to turn this on because yeah, if this is going to be going full Souls-like, it'd be kind of nice to play a Souls-like without losing resources, at least for the first impressions video that I'm going to do. Here, whatever, it's fine. Let's see. How do we start new game? Perfect. Hopefully I can actually change things as we go around. Anyway, so this is based on an alternate history, French Revolution time, where King Louis XVI has an automaton horde that is preventing the revolution from, you know, occurring or going through, I don't know. Which is wild? Spiders makes weird games. After Greedfall, I think they hit their stride. We'll just have to see if it actually, if this follows up. It looks nice.
Oh, pardon. You know, actually, I think I'm in no mood for games right now. How much longer are we to be kept here? Or we just simply watch as Paris burns from afar?
The rabble are rioting. This is the price to be paid for spoiling the masses.
You don't understand, Gabrielle. The king sent us here long before the city went up in flames. He knew what was about to transpire. I think he is somehow involved in these events.
Oh, come now, Marie. True, he can be misguided and somewhat short-tempered at times, but he's no Nero.
Then why have we been given no news for so long? Les enfants, Gabrielle. The children.
They'll soon be out of harm's way. I am most certain of it. Monsieur Cléry will take good care of them. For now, at least, we are safe.
Safe? Vraiment? Where are the chateau guards?
We are still protected. The king just preferred to use a different sort of guard.
Guards? Or jailers? They won't even let us leave this room, Gabrielle. The king, he has lost his mind to grief. First our darling, Sophie. Then our beloved son. My poor sweet angel. They didn't let me say goodbye. I wasn't even allowed to see him. C'est affreux. Something inside me is crying out. Telling me he's still of this world at times. I think I hear him calling to me. I'm so afraid.
What do you fear, my queen?
Everything. Everything horrifies me. The king's wrath, his army of indefatigable automats that Monsieur de Vaucanson has built for him. The charlatans who advise him, who are now more powerful than ministers. What happened to my son? What will happen to the children that God has deigned to leave in my care?
I won't let any harm come to them. This I promise you.
But how? Do you not see that we're prisoners here?
All is not lost. You forget about the one automat that is not hostile to us. This new bodyguard of yours.
Okay, so we just get to make our own creepy automaton. So we can have gold. I'm digging the copper. Ooh, there's also a pattern if you go with like the white. Oh no, it's the same pattern. So there's kind of silvery. I really dig copper. I'm gonna be honest. This is freakish and creepy. So we're like this lady automat. You know, I actually kind of dig that one. What about this? Nope. I am not big on this era's hairstyles. Like this one would have been fine if it was like a ponytail. But yeah, they've got the whole it's a doll wearing a wig thing going on, and it doesn't jive with me. Interesting. Oh, this actually does change our face too. So this one's not terrible. There's the more geisha-looking eyes, maybe. So it's really the question between this one... No. I like this one. Looks a little bit more intense. Interesting. So we can be a bodyguard. Body of work, heavy weapon, special move, block, petrification grenade, projectile that can temporarily immobilize an enemy. Let's see. Soldier has a halberd, heavy weapon, special move, ranged attack. Explosive grenade knocks over enemies. Their power and vigor. Dancer has armored fans and can block. Or glass core batons. Invocation of ice. Let's see. Increases chance of finding loot. Alchemical damage and resistance. Physical damage. Damage and impact. Okay. So grenade, flame grenade, or alchemical resistance. The batons almost sound the most interesting, at least for now.
This machine that is now somehow able to speak and understand what we say to it? C'est terrifiant.
Yes, but it is loyal to you. That's all that matters. If it managed to escape the chateau, it could be your eyes and ears in Paris. And if, perchance, the other automats were to go after it?
You won't attempt anything foolish. I cannot lose you, Gabrielle. Not now. Aegis?
Madame.
The king must be stopped.
The very kingdom is at stake.
Go and find Vaucanson at his workshop. Ni les Invalides. He surely holds the secret to these tireless automats. And perhaps he will know something about the death of my son.
How am I to leave the chateau grounds, Madame?
Go to the riverbank, at the far side of the grounds. From there you can take a boat to Paris.
You wanted to find Vaucanson? Vraiment? What if he is the one who is responsible for this unrest?
What Vaucanson has done, ma chère, only Vaucanson can undo.
Also, huge benefit, I can change these whenever I want. I'm probably not going to change any of them. What is max? So you can just take no damage, and you can have your endurance come back 3 times faster. These are huge things. I originally, save changes, nope. I originally had the hardest time getting into Dark Souls back when it first came out on PC. Okay, dodge, light attack, heavy attack. Okay, so they're using very familiar control schemes. Ooh, I can break the benches. Okay. It's got some heft to it. Assign consumables to the quick access belt so you can get access to it at any time. Oil burette. Let's see. Aegis was assigned to the queen as a bodyguard. She was given the metal receptacle containing a precious restorative oil. Now powered by unlimited energy, she can use it to repair damage received in battle. Let's add a lot of these. Disassembly token. Okay. But if I use that, I go back, so we don't really want to do that. Anyway, heal up. And cool. Yeah, there's like some real heft to how you move in this. It feels strange. Whoops. I'm gonna turn down the effects by like a smidge. The crunching as we hit enemies is just a little loud for me. Oh, there's jumping. And we can run faster. Okay, we're like a creepy spider bot. So it definitely has, it's giving me Surge 1 vibes. Let's see. Attacking or defensive special move. I forgot how to attack. There we go. Well, that's handy. Unfortunately, I've burnt through my 2 heals, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit more... Look, I've been playing other games where you press X to attack, and it's throwing me off a little bit that this one works differently. Whoops, that's not it. Okay, it doesn't seem like the other automatons are coming after me. Well, they did there. It looks like I've got hyper rad special attacks. I've also maybe got a spell, but I don't know how to do it. Okay, that didn't work. Biff it? Yes, but it doesn't seem like stun locking enemies is particularly wise. That worked. Okay, and I see quite a number of these around. Yeah, there's just like a little tilty and weird as we move. Like... anyway, I was gonna say for, like Dark Souls 1, I had the hardest time getting into it. Because... Oh. Wait, that was interesting. There was a Y. Interesting. So you can press Y to get stamina back after depleting it. Almost kind of reminds me of Neo. So if I keep swinging this, I can get it back. And then there's the perfect cooldown, which was mentioned earlier, which I'm assuming I'm gonna almost have to go back just to heal. There's the perfect cooldown, which I'm assuming as it depletes your stamina, you just go straight back up to full if you get it in that tiny little bit right before. Also, it doesn't look like you can get the perfect cooldown when sprinting. Doesn't work that way, but it also doesn't slow you down that much. I'm gonna go see if I can heal though, because I've squandered a lot of HP real quick. Okay, I see no place for me to heal. So I guess I've just gotta go to and from. And yeah, it seems like we get our stamina back, no problem. So sprinting is easy. Hello, side thing. Fortunately, this game does not let me cap my frame rate at all, which is an issue. However, what I can do... Well, that was interesting. Can I pick up the goodies? Yes. I can, apparently, assassinate things that are unaware to me. That was actually really cool. Oh... I wonder if I did actually just permanently burn through my available healing items and I have to buy or find more. That would actually make a lot of... Whoa. Whoa. Okay, that was weird. And this is actually a path. Hey! Vestals. Activating a Vestal creates a checkpoint where Aegis is repaired if she breaks. Here we can upgrade attributes, equipment, and obtain equipment, outfits, weapons, consumables by spending Anima Essence. Well, that's pretty. Damn. This is really stylish, actually. And we do get our health back. So we can improve power, durability, vigor, alchemical. Okay, so we got some things, but I can't actually do anything with any of this because it is too expensive. We can also do module slots, but I need more. Weapons, but we don't have any, and a burette, which increases the amount of healing doses I get. But I can't do anything with that. Boutique. So we can buy alchemical capsules, bunch of things, ordinary oil vials. Looks like I might have 14 already, or the store stocks 14. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. Purchase, sell. No. I see. So they might only have 14. We can also get body of work was the hammer, the halberd, the fans, and then my batons again. We can get a module. Let's see. Increases armor and balance when health is at the lowest. Oh, you can actually see the modules in her back. That's neat. And increases the amount of anima essence taken from each fallen enemy. Oh, but I need just a little bit more. And I have nothing. Well, what if I sell? Oh. I also apparently have some maybe extra equipment that I can equip. Oh, here we go. Sell that. Go back to purchase. Buy module. Avarice module. And then we want to module slots here. Oh, 3 keys to upgrade. So I have no modules. Period. Or no, this upgrades the slot. So maybe I can still equip it just from the main menu. Or maybe here. Let's see. So ventilation reduces internal damage, frost damage caused by rapid cooling. Oh, and the avarice module. I'm going to throw that on and we'll just see what happens. We have this. We also have a map of Paris. And stats. There's a lot of stuff to look at here. Some people are going to really dig this game. I just hope the gameplay matches up with how it looks. Hell yeah. I love these executions, and to some degree I kind of wish there was a little bit more of a stealth play to this. So I really could just assassinate people left and right. Alright, this one's mad. Okay, I hear another one. Overheating, rapid cooling. So, when overheated, you can trigger rapid cooling with Y, which instantly restores an amount of endurance. But we take frost damage. Using it too soon after overheating will prolong the overheating. I see. Oh, he looking frosty. Oh, I see. But it's only, you only take the frost damage if you fill out the circle. Otherwise, you just warm back up again and don't have to worry about it. Nice, nice. I had no idea what to expect with this game. I just don't watch trailers anymore, and so I'm actually kind of impressed. Oh, I can't climb that. There's a jump, but I don't know if the jump actually is terribly meaningful. Okay, can't really animation cancel, but that's fine. Oops. Gotta make sure I don't just walk into a bunch of damage. Oh, I have to... Oh, wait, no. I still get the money, but there's also bonus. Okay, so this went poorly. There's multiple. Okay. I do a goodly amount of damage. Let's heal. I would really like to kill this guy. I don't really like fighting 2 enemies at a time. It's not really my jam. Excuse me, sir. There we go. I'll just wait for my juice to come back. Ow. You really think that would stun them? But I guess you can't rely on that. I wonder if we get a parry. I haven't seen so if there is one. It might be one of those, like, weapon upgrade things. I think, even when I get the money, I'm probably gonna try and buy, like, the halberd or something, see if I can do something fun with that. Just because I don't mind the baton, but I also can, will gladly try a great many other builds until I figure out what I like. Okay, equipment. Hat. Oh, it's a stupid looking hat, but then again, I don't know. Old French fashion has always looked really goofy to me. This is where I was, yes? Yeah. So, please come close, thank you. Oh, there's an item over here. How did I miss this? Keepy. I might actually have enough Essence of Lesser Spirit just by kind of wandering these grounds and grabbing whatever that I can just buy the halberd right out. Well, the one nice thing is, because I've got the assist mode on, I don't need to worry about running out of juice, ever. So, I can just keep stacking soul forever. Okay, well, we haven't been this direction. I think the other way just loops back on itself. It also seems like we get plenty of the alchemical bits. That hit me? I have no idea. Unfortunately, it doesn't... Oh. it doesn't feel like it's particularly smooth. Like, you really have to choose between attacking and dodging, which actually makes a lot of sense. I think I've been playing too many Souls-likes where you can actually animation cancel into a parry, or a block, or a dodge. And this is not one of those games. Turns red, that's when we get the stealth attack. I was wondering about that. Because we've gotten a couple, but it never tutorialized it. Okay, do we have something there? Because it sounds like there's something on the bridge, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get up to that. It's weird that there's a jump. I appreciate that it's there. But I don't know how well I'm going to be able to use it. Pull out of that. Switch back. Yeah, I think I just need to keep my distance. And take things out slow. Rather than trying to Sekiro it. I think that's it. Is that I was kind of expecting something Sekiro-ish. But I think this is very much more so like Dark Souls 1 and 2. Which I actually probably appreciate. I'm not big on the super high, fast-paced From Software games. Like Elden Ring, I think, set a good pace most of the time. But I don't do big reflex combat anymore. Ever, really. I'm not big on it. I'm slow, and I just don't like being tested in that respect. Pattern recognition and strategy, cool. Pure reflexes, oof. Feels like this area is kind of supernatural.
The Swiss guard, killed by the automats that replaced them.
That's worrying. Okay, before I touch anything, we should heal. Oh. Nope. Defeat the unstable automat. Captain de Grosse. Governor Defray affirms that no command was given to replace your company with a detachment of automats. I therefore urge you until further notice to keep your distance from these machines and inform me of any signs of hostility. Do not engage unless Her Majesty the Queen is in danger. Reinforcements are en route. Lieutenant Colonel de Bachmann, second in command of the Place de St. Cloud. Okay, right. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, you. I really gotta watch my stamina. Okay. It looks like it also has a gun arm, which is something I need to be aware of. At least I do a decent chunk of damage to it. Ow, bad times. Wow, that was rough. Okay. I gotta remember I actually have to commentate over boss fights. I also gotta remember to get my stamina back. Which is harder than you think it would be. It seems like for fighting this guy, your best bet is to just mostly go around the left. Music's pretty good. My problem is, I can't actually see what he's doing half the time because, you know, he's got... Okay. He's got his cannon up. Or not his cannon up. He's just really foggy. Which is kind of a problem. You know, it's also a problem going into the forest here. Okay, I gotta lure him out. Okay. I've also got these ordinary oil vials. Oh boy. Rubble here is an issue. Oh, interesting, you can't... Okay. Gotta watch my stamina a smidge. Wasn't even meaning to sprint here necessarily. That's fine. At least this game makes it really easy to get behind an enemy. It very much has kind of a Bloodborne dodge, which I think is good. You also can get stuck on the tree. Like, I don't know. The extra terrain here adds kind of... Ow. There we go. I don't know if I can freeze the boss. But I will try my best. Avoid that. Yeah, I don't think I'm freezing him. I'll have to mess around with different weapons. Because I could very much see, like, the fan working very much in my favor. Okay, so he does actually do a charge here. Ooh. Ow, terrain. Bad terrain. Wow. Just gotta wait for my stamina to come back. Oh, it's like 2 more hits. He's done. We're good. Whoop! Where the heck did you come from, jerk? Oh, it's fine. No, that didn't work. There we go. Did I take any damage from that? No. See, here's the thing. The charge attack on this weapon is just too handy against the really basic dudes. Module key. Aegis has several slots for modules that augment her stats. Slots have levels that allow Aegis to fit increasingly powerful modules. To unlock a slot... Okay, so we can either unlock a new one, or unlock a higher tier one. Makes sense. But I want to go back to this Vestal. Hey, and we actually have enough money that I can potentially buy yet another piece of equipment. I think I'm going to try the fan. Do we want to try the fan or do we want to try the big hammer? I think I like the fan, or the idea of the fan. Let's see. So let's go back to armored fans. Purchase those. Because, yeah, I don't know how much I care about shields. And yeah, I do not have enough. Oh, but there might be another thing. So let's get rid of these. Grab the armored fans. Go back to upgrades. It's probably telling me about module slots. So I can snag another one. We might as well unlock all of them across the board. And then add more later. And I'm going to go for longevity, because a little bit of HP goes a long way. Alright. Well, we've seen the first boss at the very least. I have some kind of loose embargo of chapters 1 and 2. I'm assuming that's actually like a fair ways down the way. And that I really am not going to have to worry about it for this video. Are you? Boy, you would have been stinky in the previous boss fight. Okay, so block is just a shield. Interesting. Yeah, I think I might roll the fans for a while. They seem like they're kind of handy. The block doesn't take too much. Comes out pretty quick. That's interesting. Good stun on that. And attack pretty quick too. I like it. Yeah, I should have gone for the block. I don't know. After Bloodborne, I don't trust blocking. Hello. This looks nice. What kind of goodies are in here? Actually, nothing. It's only this one. Actually makes sense. And we have a shield musket. Excuse me. So shield musket. Ranged weapon. Okay. Interesting. It kind of creates an ice wall shield. This might actually be more of a weapon for my build. Oh, I guess maybe I should have been using my money for upgrades instead. Ooh. And it's got that intrinsic ice effect. Maybe. Okay. New area of the lantern. See, one guy guarding the door, plus a bigger door over here. I don't think I can open this up. Ooh, blocked? I see some bigger guys, including a very big guy. I actually really dig this. I'm kind of surprised there haven't been more Soulslikes that utilize... there haven't been more Soulslikes that heavily utilize, like, robots and machines. Like, the Surge kind of does, but it's almost exclusively just, like, really messed up people, that are just being puppeted around by robots-ish. Yeah, I like this better. More armor. I don't know if I like this one better. Actually, I do like it better. Those are some major stat bonuses. Alright, what else we got? Okay, you look spooky. Something to kind of worry about. Interesting. It parries. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, ow, ow. Probably better that I just dodged the flame, but still. But I like this because all the enemies being robots kind of gives them this whimsical flair to it. Like to their design, but even beyond that, I feel like you could do more with robot designs, maybe, than, like, weird, freakish demon undead. Obviously, that might just be my personal preferences showing. It's fine. Take out one, worry about the other later. I wonder... You really can block, like, before the animation's even done playing. Which I am super down for. Because this is a nice animation, but if it gets the block before it's actually even, like, finished unfurling, then that means it's going to be pretty easy for me to do some quick last-second dodging here. Okay, keep that in mind. Don't get too greedy. Or not. Alright. Well, here's the thing. Boop. I wish weapon swapping was a little quicker. But, whatever. Hi, what do you have for me? Goodies? Nemesis claws and a compass. Finding one's way. You found a compass. You can assign the compass to the quick access belt so you can see it at any time to see the way to your destination. Well, that's cool. Let's see. And the Nemesis claws are in fact a weapon. Okay, so they have counterattack. Any parry that's timed just right reverses the effects of the enemy's attack and deals damage. Sick. Also, just the weapons in this look really nice. I think my only disappointment is, well, it's kind of cool that it actually, like, shows on the character model. I wish you could actually hold the weapon out a little bit longer. Just because some of the weapons actually look really neat. You know, in hand. Where are we going with this? We have a big tower. Can I go up? No. What's the point of climbing this thing? Okay, there's assuredly most assuredly, like a thing up there. There's also something right here. Companions, comrades. In the name of the nation, our honor demands that we stop our work. The king threatens to send his foreign regiments into the capital. Shall we continue to build a vain lantern while our brothers are slaughtered 4 leagues from St. Cloud? The time has come to put down our tools and take up arms. To Paris, equality or death, freedom will recognize its own. Citizen Burrell, Mason and Patriot. So I'm not entirely sure. It looks like there's something up higher. And I was expecting that I'd be able to, like, climb some aspect of this. Like, this rope here seems good. Because there's definitely a thing going on with whatever that is. But I can't seem to interact with it. Do I take falling damage? Yes! Good time to find out. Or a bad time to find out, I'm not entirely sure.
The bank is just beyond this wood.
Yeah, sure. I could continue, I could probably have maybe explored a little bit more. And maybe there's something up with that, but I know we come back at a later date. I know we have to, because there's that blocked gate. So that's got to give me something. Okay, so what do we have around here? Items and foes. Not too many. Okay, that pisses off the snake. Oh, right, that's the wrong button. Ow, that didn't work. Okay, let's not fight it in the bushes. Oh, what? Ah, it still got me. Whatever. It's fine. Here's the beauty part. We're right next to this. I wonder if we're even going to see any humans. Or if it's just going to be machine versus machine for pretty much this entire game. I guess the really freaky one would be like a human being puppeted around by clockwork inside of them. Which game was I seeing that had something like that recently? I don't remember off the top of my head. Okay, didn't get toasted nearly as much there. Oh, that might have actually hit me. I might have blocked too soon. I'm not sure. It's weird. Fought those guys, like, pretty cleanly the first time we fought that, or first time we were here. Now I'm just getting smacked around pretty hard. Is what it is, and I get some, I get souls. Or whatever it's called. Anima? Anima, I think it is. I just sneak up on this guy, because fighting both of them sounds like hell. Okay, then I stand over here. So don't get hit. Okay, then it does fire again, because it's a very distractible thing. Okay, you gonna do fire again? Well, I tried hitting the block button. I guess it didn't work. Well, there's always the option of the shield. I should probably try the claws before we're done, just because they look pretty cool. Let's see, is there anything of note up here? Like, I can kind of go along these rocks, but... like, oddly enough, I'll be honest, I don't really feel like these games really benefit from high foliage or jumping. Like, there's a reason why Dark Souls, for the most part, stays in fairly ruined, fairly ruined-looking castles and so on and so forth. Okay, there's a tougher-looking boy there. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, so I can parry. I just have to hit the timing correct. It's not that outlandish, honestly. The parry is pretty decent. The enemies also have extremely obvious attacks. And so it doesn't feel like parrying is that silly. I've had iffy luck when it comes to parrying in games. I was trying to play Themisia the other day, when that came out, and I was quite thrown off by how iffy the parrying was. I think it's really good once you get up to it, and I think there is an upgrade system. Materials to upgrade the burette. Increase the number or the amount of health per dose. Useful. Okay, didn't work. The problem with parrying is I'm not entirely sure what I can parry. Well, I most assuredly can't parry that. Oh, that's fine. I didn't take too much damage. And we can always just quaff more of these. I'm sure we're going to be burning through our life gem equivalent pretty quickly here. Hi. I'm actually really digging the claws. I'm curious how effective they are against bosses. Like, can you parry a boss in this game? Sometimes the answer is yes, a lot of times the answer is a very, very sad and kind of, extremely painful no. Oh, hey. Blocked from the other side, once again. Huh. There really is this kind of sense of whimsy. I was trying to talk about that earlier with the machines. Well, like, you know, obviously they're kind of humanoid, but they're weird. Ooh, that was a neat move. And yeah, I can just kind of use the opportunity while they're on the ground to just absolutely delete them when they get back up. Oop. Okay, you scared the shit out of me. Which is, I'm sure, your intention. That didn't really hit it nearly as hard as I wanted it to. Okay, screw it. Let's try claws. Oop. Alright. I was just waiting for the follow-up. A lot of these guys just kind of feel like they're not quite as aggressive as I would expect. Many of them just kind of like peace out for a while. But frankly, that works out for me. Falchion and Saber. Well, do I feel... Well, I guess let's see what kind of weapon it is. Blade Tornado. By using the sword and falchion in combination, Aegis can perform a spinning flurry attack that delivers... spinning attack that does... I don't know. Alright. Oh, we're still on the claws. Yeah, it's cool. Okay. Oh, and the frost damage is not actually that bad. Cool. I don't know if I'm gonna like it because ultimately I prefer having a defensive option on the table, so I'm not just 100% locked into dodging. Dodging is hit and miss, especially with stamina costs. Are you alive, human? Nope. Super dead. Just like everybody else. Flimsy meat bags. Unfortunately, I will say, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this game. Oh, this 100% seems like a boss. I'm gonna put away this and switch back to the fans. Would just be the boat, but it feels like another boss arena to me.
This boat will take me to Paris.
Hello! Well, that looks like it's going to be a problem. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to this, because it's time to find out if I can parry this sucker. Okay, so the answer is yes. Unstable lightning battering ram. Okay. I don't know what that was. Ow. That was pain. There we go. Stay away from that. Let my stamina come back. I was trying to back away from it, but whatever. Okay. There's the parry. Ow, that was not the parry. I'm just gonna keep using these. Freaking ouch. Okay. He kind of forgot I was here. Okay, let's get my stamina back. I'm doing a decent job here. I say as I then proceed to take big hit to face. It's fine. Any hit you can walk away from is fine. Nope, that was not. There we go. Avoid those. I'm just gonna top off. These heals are cheap. And I want to live. No sense being stingy here. Okay, just let the HP float back in. Feeling bold. Beautiful. And he's dead. That was not bad. Grade 2 stable charging module and a module key. I don't know if I can slot that in. Is there anything in here? No. Can I open this up? Need a tool to break this. What? So I wonder if the tools are almost kind of Metroidvania-ish. That at some point the city actually opens up a little bit more. It stays linear for a while, but then you get to kind of go back through with the tools to open everything up and find like a whole new path. I think that actually would be really cool. As kind of like a linear first act, and then second act is just like, hey, the rest of the city sucks, go fix it. Well, considering I was finding some goodies in here, I might as well break every single one of these boxes. Let's see, anything else? Nope, time to take this boat. And I guess we're just light enough that we don't have to worry about it. Sick. Les Invalides? The Invalids? I don't know much about French. I can barely even pronounce it, and I'm pretty sure I can never pronounce it correctly. It's probably Les Invalides. But like I said, I'm no expert in French. I did an entire series where anytime anybody said anything even French adjacent, I just start getting really lilty for no good reason as kind of like a workaround for actually trying to pronounce things correctly. It worked okay, actually. At least as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure it annoyed the heck out of one or two people. But it made me giggle. Alright, well, we've beaten 2 bosses. One took a couple of tries. Aegis' light weapons are able to inflict immobilization damage, shown by the immobilization gauge. When it's filled, the enemy is temporarily immobilized, opening them up to a crit. Makes sense. And my big thing is I think I'm very much going to be stuck. Oh, for a second I thought that was a bear trap. I'm very much going to be stuck with these claws for a while. Being able to parry stuff is massively useful. I mean, you saw it against the boss. I could reasonably and reliably parry like a decent chunk of his attacks. Which means kind of easy town. Obviously, I'm going to have to invest in a lot of things. Honestly, I think it's going to be stamina and health for a while, rather than investing into agility itself. You know, it's like 1 extra damage, but that doesn't feel really good. Whereas, you know, buffing my health up. The other thing is, engineering increases my armor by, like, not an insignificant portion. My affliction multiplier and my loot multiplier. If I can find a weapon that does parry that uses engineering, I'm going to be a happy camper. But I think for now, at least, I'm going to invest probably into endurance. Because the more endurance I have, the more I can dodge and run around. without stopping. And that seems really smart to me, maybe. Oh, we can also upgrade these. So what would this do? Physical, so 4 extra damage, better agility affinity, so better scaling, level 2, better impact and immobilization. Fans, kind of the same deal. It doesn't look like... So it looks like the claws are real good if you go purely down agility, which is not a bad idea. Whereas the fans, not so much so. Maybe they scale up a little higher later. So shield musket, frost damage, alchemy efficiency. Yeah, the main issue is it ran out of ammo, which I'm not exactly the happiest about. Oh yeah, what about the falchion and saber? I didn't see those. Okay. Neat. But don't really care. I've got my parry machine. And weirdly enough, despite the fact that I usually have a lot of trouble with parrying, it's working out in this one. So anyway, I think this is a good stopping point, at least for now. It's making my computer's fan run, which is something I was kind of trying to talk about a little bit. That I actually really like this game, but it doesn't have an option in the settings. You know, let's just look at the options real quick. I haven't shown them off. Might as well do it at the end of the video. I used to do it at the very beginning as kind of like an homage to TB, but people don't like that, so I'm going to try a different method, which is taking a look at the options at the end of one of these. People might bow out, but not a whole lot in video. And then advanced video has quite a bunch, but I don't see a single thing here that actually lets me lock my FPS to any specific number. And so my computer has this really bad habit of being like, oh, I have no limitations, 400 FPS. And then the fans start going like mad because they're like, what are you doing, graphics card? And graphics card is just like, wee! It's not for every game, but it's for enough games that it's a bit of a problem. Now, overall, plot and story, kind of meaningless. I almost wish it was not actually France. You know, give me an alternate universe France where you have magical mecha and maybe some analogs. You know, your Mad King, Louis but not Louis, your Marie Antoinette but not Marie Antoinette. I think it's fine the way it is, but I have yet to see anything that actually makes this need to be the French Revolution, apart from the fact that, you know, it's French and there's a revolution going on. But the whole automaton dealio is kind of its own like whole thing, and I almost kind of wish they were just bold enough to say like, yep, this is our own universe. Hell, I'd even say put it in the same universe as Greedfall. I think that would have actually been kind of interesting, as kind of like building off of the same universe. So, you know, maybe in Greedfall 2 you hear about this thing that happened. It was just straight up, you know, the plot of this game. Or not, I don't know. I think the main thing is just like, whenever I have an alternate history game, there's kind of that feeling of like, the plot is neat.
I will only be able to locate Monsieur de Vaucanson's workshop from an elevated position.
The plot is neat, but ultimately, I have no connection to it because I know how it, either I know how it ends, or they go in a completely different direction, at which point, why have it be historical fiction in the, you know, in the first place, if that makes any sense. That you kind of trap yourself. I think it works, you know, as kind of this, like, weird alternate history fan fiction of, like, but what if robots were, like, King Louis had a robot army? Which actually is kind of cool in its own way. But, I don't know, I think I'm always interested in diving into somebody else's world rather than my own. But I think that's more of a personal gripe than anything else. I do like the setting, and it looks fairly decent. Kind of standard PS2 era, give or take. I love that assassination. My cabbages! Oh my god, they absolutely had to have done this as a reference. Oh shit, what is this? Okay, so we've got... They're like tigers. Ow. And I have a lot of trouble figuring out their pattern. I think they also have some trouble hitting me, too. I also really like that cooling system. Like, I don't know, there's... Wow, there's a really loud bird. I think you guys might actually be able to hear said bird. Well, either way, the bird wants me to end my video, and I think I will do so dutifully. So, once again, Greedfall. Steelrising is going to be available on September 7th for 50 bucks, which is a little steep. But it's kind of one of those where it's like, it is definitely one of the higher quality Souls-likes I have seen go by in quite a while. Like, it stands up there with this Surge. I think the one problem is, it does feel a little unrefined in a way that, like, a Steelrising 2, or at least a couple of compatibility patches, could make this feel a lot better. Especially with the whole, you know, my computer freaking out thing, which actually has stopped. That I think the frame rate issue might have actually just been some kind of optimization issue in the previous zone, which actually is kind of a comfort. But so if you're looking for some other kind of alternate Souls-like to really get into, I think this one actually is going to be worth keeping an eye on. But if you haven't dove into the genre before, this might not be the best starting spot, with one exception. Being able to turn on those assist mode things turns this game from being a pretty B-grade Souls-like, maybe A-grade, I guess it really depends on your grading scale on these things, to, hey wait, now anybody can play this. And I think that's actually really cool. I am going to have the hardest time with Clunkus here. Are you a boss? I think it is. Okay, I'm gonna switch to my fans. I can't block this guy. Alright, thank you all so much for watching, and remember, eat your greens, because these robots can't. I mean, they could, but it would be messy and pointless.